Hey, I'm Matt Bain. This is some of the stuff I've done.
Technology that is second to none, that is as modern gets. And we produce this product that is literally embedded in everything people touch and feel and see every single day.
My grandfather won a Pulitzer Prize for meritorious public service in 1952 for fighting the Ku Klux Klan with his newspaper. Because of his work, over 300 Klansmen were arrested.
So over the past 6 years, I have been a photographer, documentary filmmaker, content creator, social media strategist, all this stuff, all the words. And I have something that I just want to get off my chest. First of all, everybody keeps saying just press record. I think Media has that almost coined at this point.
You got to just press record.
But press record. It's not that I haven't made videos. I made videos, I think I have about 50 on my channel. None of them have popped. It's totally fine. I just wanted to create things. So I did do a vlog series, 25 or 26 days in a row. And you can check that series out if you want, just to see kind of a day in the life. Legit dust storm behind me. That's legit. Last year, at least. Things have changed this year. But I haven't made anything for a while, and I wanted to just go ahead and record things, practice what I preach to my clients, which is you just have to make things. You have to get it done. You have to put yourself out there. You can't be precious about this. You've got to do it. So I had something, though, that I thought would be a good kind of touch point for this video, and that is I'm not Peter McKinnon, and neither are you.
What's up, everybody? Peter McKinnon here. Welcome back.
If you've been living under a rock, then go ahead and look up Peter McKinnon. He's an awesome YouTube creator, filmmaker, photographer, and he's very successful. I'm going to use Peter McKinnon here because he has been such an influence on me. At 29 years old, I had never worked in photography, filmmaking, any of that stuff. I never went to a marketing company. Prior to 2019, when I was 29, I had never had any marketing experience. I had never had a background in film school, any of that. I picked up a camera at the marketing company that I had just been at for about 3 months. Long story there, I can go into it in another video. And I fell in love with it. And I wanted to figure out, how do I do this better? How do I edit things? And guess what? Went to YouTube, found Peter McKinnon. And from 2019 till now, I've still been learning things. Everything I know from a camera aspect and how to shoot and all of that has come down to listening to 3 different people: Peter McKinnon, Darren Doan, and Matty Rapoya. Those are the main players in my life. And so that's why I want to use Peter as kind of a launching point for this video. The thing that is on my mind is that a lot of people seem to think that the only reason he is successful is because of luck or a coolness factor or some other random thing that people feel they don't have. And the reality is, yes, part of it is luck. Yes, part of it is he's just a cool guy and people like him. That's just how it is. But 98% of his success comes from, wait for it, his hard work. He has worked hard, extremely hard. And the way I know this is because I'm in this game, and not necessarily the YouTube game, but I'm in the game of creating things, of producing videos, of working with clients. And as I showed at the beginning, I've done multiple different things in terms of working, especially alongside director Darren Doan. Look him up. And I've had so many opportunities. And so I guess real recognizes real. Is that still a saying? The reason he is successful is because of all the work he's put in. And guess what? The majority of that work hasn't been shown on his YouTube channel. 95% of that work has not been shown on his YouTube channel, guaranteed. We haven't seen the conversations. We haven't been on the phone calls. We haven't seen, any family difficulties that he may have had while doing this. Hopefully he hasn't had any, but who knows? There's a lot that goes into being this successful. And the thing nowadays, it seems, is that as humans, we've collectively as of late, not that this hasn't always been the case, but especially lately with the advent of the internet, social media, now YouTube being as big as it is, we've gotten to this point where it seems like everybody just thinks that they're entitled to things. I am not entitled to be as successful as Peter McKinnon is on YouTube or anywhere else for that matter. The reason why I will be successful or have been as successful as I have been is equal to the amount of work I've put in. Now, again, there's a lot of the luck factor to that. You know, maybe I said the wrong thing to somebody and so I didn't get that opportunity and I didn't even realize that I said the wrong thing. Maybe I was too aggressive at certain points. Maybe I wasn't aggressive enough. Where I've failed, others have succeeded and they reap the rewards of succeeding in those areas. And that's how it should be. And so I just wanted to put it out there that if you're in the same position as me, in the time of making this video, I have 68 subscribers, and I'm very thankful for each one of them. I don't know who all of them are, which is pretty crazy. I've not met all these people, so you would think at that low of a number, maybe it's just a bunch of friends who I do know who have, you know, tried to help me out and subscribed. It's not the case, and so that's amazing to me. So I'm very thankful for everybody who watches any of the things that I create. And if I'm never, you know, the million subscriber guy like a Matty Hapoya or a Peter McKinnon, that's fine. Like, I'm very thankful for you being here and watching, pressing, you know, the like button, all that stuff. It's pretty wild if you think about it, that we can be complete strangers and yet we can meet on this medium and find something in common and follow one another. So that's really cool. But at this time, I have a super low follower count, right? If I want to increase that, then I need to do this, plain and simple. I need to, whether it's planning a video or just pressing record like I did today, and getting this off my chest, you just have to make things. I know it's been said 100 times, a million times, you just have to make things. But I think a lot of us in this world, when you have a creative mind, when you have a mind maybe geared toward the arts, all that type stuff, a lot of times we are the biggest procrastinators. And so we don't just do things and then we sit back and we get jealous, we get envious, we become these envious creators, which is such a deadly trap to be in. And envy is just, it's a terrible thing. Jealousy is wanting what somebody else has. Envy is wanting to take that person out in order to have what they have, if you catch my drift. I don't want to say certain words because I'm sure I'll get pinged on YouTube for saying them, but you want to have what they have and you want them to no longer exist. Okay. That's envy. And that's a terrible place to get to, especially in this world of abundance. There's so much story everywhere. There's so much to be told. There's so many things to do. And if you would just put your effort behind it, you could find success. It may not be as much as a Peter McKinnon. It may be more. I don't know. I don't know where my journey is going to end in this whole endeavor, but I wanted to, again, just get on here, kind of riff some of these thoughts that I've had and see if you'd be interested in hearing more from me on this topic. I've worked for the last 6 years in this industry, and really the last 4 of those years, last 5 actually, since 2020, I have been working under a phenomenal director, the most prolific music video director probably of all time. He has well over 1,000 music videos that he's made, and that is Darren Doan. And he's made that with Shinedown, Jason Mraz, I'm Yours. He made that video. He made the first Blink-182 video. He has worked with everybody from Alan Jackson, the Zac Brown Band, Kid Rock, to tons of punk bands and metal bands that maybe you've never even heard of. Recently having worked with one of his good friends, Aaron Bruno of AWOL Nation, and his new band, Barbarians of California, which I had the pleasure of getting to work on with him, both with AWOL and with Barbarians. And so I've had all these opportunities in the last 5 years, yet I'm not by any stretch of the imagination known by a lot of people. And yet I've had these great opportunities to hone my craft. And in the last 5 years, I would say that I've had about 15 years of experience in comparison to somebody else. And the reason why I bring that up is because I put myself in a position to grow, to have to go through really hard things in terms of this line of work and learn hard lessons. And I'm very thankful for them. And I would not have gotten that if I would have just sat back, procrastinated, and hoped that success would just come knocking at my door. That's not how it goes. You have to put yourself out there. And you probably have some great art, some great story you want to tell, and something's holding you back, and that something is you. That's the bottom line. And so we need not be jealous of the successful YouTubers, successful filmmakers. They too had to start at the bottom at some point. There was a time when Peter McKinnon had never touched a camera. He wasn't born with a camera in his hands. He wasn't born with 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He had to put in the work. He had to make decisions. He had to make tough calls. He had to risk things. He had to risk everything in some regards. Going full in on YouTube, he had to make that risk. And he is where he is today because of that effort he's put in. I love watching his stuff. I love learning from him. And have I at times been jealous? Absolutely, I've been jealous. I'm human too. But what I come to realize is that the more effort you put in, the more likely you are to succeed. It's not a guarantee that you will be successful to the capacity that you're hoping for. That's not a guarantee. Something could happen. Multiple things could happen to prevent that. But you'll never get to those goals. You'll never have a chance to get to those goals if you don't start now. I think it was Kanye in one of his songs. I forget now. I used to listen to him like 15 years ago, but in one of his songs, he says, reach for the stars so that if you fall, you land on a cloud. I know that's probably not his line, but that's where I remember hearing it for the first time. So yeah, shoot for the stars. If you fall, you'll land on a cloud, meaning if you shoot for high goals and even if you don't attain them, you may get up halfway. You may get up a third of the way, 3/4 of the way there. And I think we can all agree that that would be a better spot than you're in now. It'd be a better spot than I'm in now. So I guess I want to end with this. I started on this camera, the Canon M50. I don't know if this is, just M50, not like Mark II or anything. This is where I started. I uploaded photos from this in JPEG to Lightroom and, tried to edit them. I made videos on this. I didn't even know where I was hoping to go, and I still don't fully know where I'm hoping to go, but this got me a little bit closer, just practicing with this. I took a risk. I spent, at the time, this was like $600. That was a lot to me for a camera. I couldn't believe people spent $600 on this. And then to find out people spent like $800 on a lens, let alone $3,000 or $10,000 on a lens. And so I guess that's all to say, I took a risk in 2019. I bought this camera. Later, let me grab this. Neither one of these cameras work, by the way, anymore. Something happened to this one, the SD card reader. I've got to send it in and get it fixed. It'd be great to just have it working. My kids could play with it. The A7 III. This one changed a lot for me, but the shutter doesn't work now. So I already had to send it in once to get that fixed, so I got to send it in again. But these two cameras were both risky. I wasn't making a ton of money. I actually had a car payment too, so enter Dave Ramsey. I should have just sold the car probably. But
sell your stupid car this week.
I'm not going to get fully into my story right now, but just to give you an idea, I started doing work with this for my cousin's auto shop. He didn't pay me anything. I offered to do it for free just so I could get experience. I bought a gimbal, bought little things, started learning things. Long story short, ended up catching the eye of Darren Doan and ended up moving 2,000 miles across the country to take an opportunity to work with him, and have been doing that for the last 5 years. Now I'm on my own, no longer working with Darren. No bad blood there or anything. It's just how life has worked out. And so anyway, now I have a client who loves my work. They're local, and I get to do a ton of stuff for them. So here I am. I'm practicing what I preach to them, to my client, to make videos. And I hope that this resonates. You're not Peter McKinnon. I'm not Peter McKinnon. And Peter McKinnon's not at fault for being Peter McKinnon. He is a fantastic artist that we can learn from. I've been watching him for a long time, and he's the main guy I think of when I think of YouTube and what I do and how those two intersect. He's just a good example of somebody that you may think is only successful because of luck, and it's just not the case. If you would put in half the amount of effort as Peter, you would be leaps and bounds above where you're at today. So that's my final thought. Hope this is helpful. And please do like, please do subscribe, please do hit the little notify button. I've been putting out tiny shorts lately, but I want to get back to getting these videos out on a regular basis. So we'll see if that happens. Keep me accountable, comment, be like, yo, make another video. Or tell me I suck, you know, maybe I suck, but that's fine. Fuel for the fire. Thanks. Peace. And if you're interested in what my setup looked like when I made this, very simple. An upside down A6700. Got a free world monitor, which is reading out upside down right now as well. And I had to really jerry-rig this whole thing. I mean, yeah, that's not stock. Let's just say that. That's not stock.